joint meeting is being recorded in accordance with Montana law. All those in attendance are advised that the public portions of this meeting will be recorded in audio-video format. Our remaining meeting, those present consent to being recorded and displayed in footage that will be posted on the school district's website. Please contact the district office if you have any questions concerning Hamilton School District's recording obligations under Montana's open meeting law. So, once again, I'll ask any public comment on anything that is not on the agenda. Just no. Okay, perfect. Consent agenda. So in the packet, you'll see we have a few things. Did you want to mention Marie?
Just want to point out Marie Antonelli has submitted the letter to the district for retirement. 33 years of teaching in the district. So, that's quite the career, and appreciate what she's done and will continue to do this year, and thank her and wish her the best.
Absolutely. That's a stalwart. We're going to miss that one for sure. So,
quick question, I think, is Mr. Smith resigning in January? Are we replacing him?
Yes, so in the process of looking for a replacement there, yes. And that, quite honestly,
references this today.
Yeah.
Actually.
we do have at least one candidate. So, yep.
yeah, because that's a big loss as well, obviously.
For that program.
Yes, huge. So, okay, all right. Let's see, I don't think there's anything else really big in there. You have your claims, warrants, all that kind of stuff. So, if nothing else, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Can I get a second? Anybody online? Or I can second it. There we go. You like second? There we go. 2 seconds. All right. No other discussion. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand on Zoom if you want.
Aye.
Aye. Perfect. All right, we'll keep rolling on. So next one is an item of old business. So this is the recommendation to, I'm not going to read this whole thing. Recommendation to ratify the Hamilton School District's employee selection of Bridge Health Alliance. That's as far as I have to say.
With conditions.
With all of the conditions that are listed on this.
Yes. And so previously we had discussed the Bridge Health Program. This is a hard copy of the employee vote. The employee vote, we had 164 online responses and 12 paper responses. Essentially 67.7% of our staff prefers a switch to Bridge Health Alliance. And there were 32% that had wanted to stay, but this is what I would recommend, that we join the Bridge Health Alliance, but with the contingencies listed there. Just so the board is aware, I communicated with John Doran, who is the leader in the Bridge Health Alliance, about these contingencies, and I have a copy of his responses here if you're interested in that. But basically, he's addressed every concern that we have, and it looks like a smooth path moving forward. So this is in your purview to approve, and then we move forward.
So you feel good about it, and the majority of our staff wants to do it too?
For sure. Definitely the majority of the staff. I feel good about it, but it's new. So, there's risk involved, but there's risk involved in everything. And I am thankful to our legislature for giving us the opportunity to have a tool like this. So, yeah.
Sounds good. Any other comments, questions? All right, if not, can I get a motion to basically ratify this selection of Bridge Health Alliance?
So moved.
Can I get a second? Someone online? Second, perfect. Awesome. All right, any other discussion? All right. If not, all those in favor say aye or raise your hand on the line.
Aye.
Perfect. All right, motion passes. All right, so we'll move on to items of new business. So the first one is just the adoption of a resolution calling for a trustee election and possible technology or school safety security levy election by mail ballot by May 5th. So if you don't have your board packets, you may not. So, but in there's wording that Kathy has worked with photos with all that kind of stuff and cruise to that one. So in that resolution, there's a purpose of the election, and it's the 2 trustees, which we will always have to do. But there's an approval of additional levies to operate and maintain the technology fund and or the building reserve fund, school and safety, student safety and security for FY '20 may also be requested. So this resolution, I think, gives us the flexibility. We can amend this until February. So, you know, this gives us, because they changed the date on this, which it used to be March, when we would have to do this. This gives us a lot of flexibility, I feel like, to continue to discuss what we actually want to request, but then we've at least done the check mark in terms of a resolution for December.
Yeah.
Want to add more?
No, I think that's just it, is it's now we discuss what we want to do with this. And if we choose to do one, the other, neither, or both, whatever it is, those options are still available to us.
So, further discussion?
Yeah, my thinking, like, we need to talk more, because my thinking is we shouldn't run anyways. But we should discuss that, and if this allows us to still not do that, or still not run 11, that's great.
Yeah, and I think, as I said, I think this is the option to give us the most flexibility, because otherwise we're just completely ruled it out. And I think that's why I'm leaning this direction, is that this gives us that flexibility to do all of those options still, because of the change in what the legislature has asked us to do. So, any questions online either?
I kind of agree, just because I do still have some concerns and questions, but I don't want to completely put us in a position where we can't move forward.
Yeah, and I think it's great, because it's not locking us into money, it's not locking us into anything at this stage. And so, but we have basically passed the bar in terms of what the legislature is asking for. So, all right, so if that's the case, any further discussion? Anybody else have any comments, either online or here? No? Okay, so can I get a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Perfect. All right, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, I think those are all ayes, you guys are all ayes. Okay, all right, now we can go pretty quick. Okay, so the next one is request for authorization for out-of-state travel by the HHS teacher Ruth Renaud for all Northwest Choir in Tacoma, Washington. So can I get a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Can I get a second? Perfect. All right, any discussion about this one? It's pretty easy. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right, next one is just, it's kind of just a financial change, just request approval for the Spurs financial activity to be administered and maintained through the high school extracurricular activity fund. I think it was done centrally, right, before. So this is just moving it to the high school. It's just a financial change, so pretty easy. Any questions or anything? If not, okay, if not, can I get a motion to approve this change for the Spurs financial activity?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, all right, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All those opposed say nay. Perfect. Okay, the next one is, we've been doing these a lot, approval of the Montana Data Privacy Agreements for Read Naturally and Seesaw Learning. So one of them is one the We Control, which is Seesaw Learning, but then the other one is for Foods with Subscriber, yeah. So, these are normal things. Can we get a motion to approve these agreements?
So moved.
Second? I see a second up there too. Yep. Okay, all right. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, all those opposed say nay. All right. Next one is to add a position. So this is a middle school Spurs advisor.
Yeah, so Spurs is a club that supports our students with special needs. And we would like to have a club like that in our middle school as well. It does come with a 1% stipend, which equates to $345 is the payment for operating this particular club. They will do things, inclusion activities with all of our students in the middle school. Also support athletes that want to participate in Special Olympics or unified track events. So I recommend that we add this position at that 1% stipend.
So this one, a teacher would take over this role as advisor?
Yeah, and ironically, we have, some of these things are already existing activities. We're just formalizing this.
So we've had very strong high schools first.
Yes.
So I think it's a great thing. So, any other discussion? Any other questions? If not, can I get a motion to approve this position?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second,
Perfect. All right, anybody else, any more discussion? If not, so to approve it, can I get a yay? If you are in agreement?
yes.
Perfect. If you're opposed, say nay. Nobody? Okay. So the last one is a pretty good size purchase for a computer license subscription for Meraki. Meraki. So, $31,395. So this is, I think it's under your thing, but you wanted to bring it.
It is, it's just it's a large expense. So, by doing this 5-year agreement upfront, it saves us roughly, about $20,000. The subscription renewal, if we were doing it annually, would be, I think it's $199 per device. This cuts that down to, I think, $102. So it's just a cost savings, proactive sort of approach here.
Yeah, and I would add for the board's benefit that this is a phenomenon that we'll see repeatedly. Kathy and I have discussions about this, and whenever we can, we prefer to go with the yearly renewal. We have Manage Engine, which is one of our network auditing tools. That one, there's no significant advantage to do multiple year licensing. It's about $100 savings, so the conversation just was simple. Well, let's just go year to year because that's easiest to manage. But as Mr. Tennis said, licensing like we use for our access points, they incentivize it so heavily to go through multiple year contracts, as Dave explained, that it really just makes sense. And hopefully the board can appreciate that.
What does this subscription do?
These access points that we have in the ceilings, unfortunately, the new reality, starting about 6 or 7 years ago, was you buy the piece of hardware, that's yours, but it doesn't do anything until you purchase a license that allows you to manage it, light it up, configure it. So this is the yearly, in this case, 5-year license to actually have those function for 365 days and provide us the coverage we need. So this is, again, a new normal that the board may benefit from having appreciation of. Is that much with Adobe, we have a similar situation with our phones, with the Cisco phones. You buy the hardware, but the hardware doesn't do anything until you buy the license.
So that's just wireless access to the internet.
This is the internet access we
Where
use.
all of our devices can jump onto that, and that's how we access.
And we have about 108 in the district. We license for 110 in case we need to spin one up in a new location. But yeah, this is our yearly sort of expenditure for actually making those things function.
Mike, can you add part of the conversation that we were having yesterday about just computer devices and what is happening with RAM?
Right, and thank you, Mr. Tennis. Yeah, so I had a conversation with Kathy and with Dave on this one. So what's currently happening, and this will become more and more apparent to the consumers as we move into the next quarter, as we say in the business realm. But what's currently happening is there's only 3 manufacturers for RAM. And then RAM is the portion of your laptop, as I always explain it to the teachers, this is the computer's ability to juggle balls. The more RAM you have, the more balls your computer can juggle. In other words, more resources it can have happen, functioning simultaneously. Well, with the increase and the crazy expansion of data centers across the United States and across the world, the companies that produce RAM, and then in their infinite wisdom decided to start channeling all of these resources towards data centers, because data centers, of course, purchase huge numbers of these products. And what that has left out of the equation is the manufacturers of laptops. So with all of the RAM going to the data centers and that expansion process for AI and all of the things that they do in these data centers, it is actually making it very difficult for Dell, Lenovo, and all the other major manufacturers to actually build their computers because the RAM's not available. The RAM's being given to these data centers because of the way they contract. So what the conversation was that I had with Ms. Fernando and Mr. Tennis was that right now we purchase a Lenovo E16 laptop for the staff. It's our standard device. When we purchased 15 of those in August, those were approximately $938 a piece. I just got a quote for them yesterday, day before yesterday, and the price has gone up 20% in just that short time period. And that's just sort of a normal increase. Well, what's gonna happen here, what's projected to happen over the next 4, 5, 6 months is that number is gonna go up. So we could be looking at as much as $300 to $500 more per device to buy the exact same hardware because of this phenomenon that's happening with availability of components. And so I encouraged Kathy and Tom and Dave to consider the possibility of purchasing these now if the funds were available, so that we could kind of get past this speed bump, if you will, that I think everybody's going to experience. It could be quite impactful for us financially as a district. And that was kind of a long-winded explanation, but that's sort of a phenomenon. And there's a few phenomena like this that I try to track and counsel the district and the board on, but this is one that's sort of more immediate. Any questions?
Devices are at end of life.
Well, this gets back to the similar conversation, Eli, that we were having during the last board meeting. We tried to do a refresh, so what I encourage the building administrators to do is to rotate out 5 devices per year. So we take 5 devices, we retire those or redeploy them for paraprofessionals, or they become substitute teacher devices, so we keep them in our pool. But the goal is to have the newest devices in the hands of the staff. And as you can imagine, what we're trying to avoid is 5 years down the line, when that device just literally stops functioning well, then we have this cliff financially where we have to purchase 10, 15, 20 devices because they've all started to expire at the same time. So this is just that refresh rate that Dave was talking about last board meeting.
So how many are you advising that we purchase right now?
15. Yeah, and that's a cost of about $17,000, a little more than $17,000. My concern is that if we wait until August when we actually purchase them, depending on how the finances go, for that same money, we only get 10 devices as opposed to 15, just because of the cost increase that's coming because of this RAM issue. So in other words, this is money that we would already spend. It's just my recommendation to the district is that we make that expenditure sooner than later to avoid the cost increase.
So,
Yeah.
but that's kind of, you have that ability to bring it to us.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Anyways, that is a later conversation.
Yeah, that's a good one though.
It's looming on the horizon.
Sounds good. All right. Oh, so we need to approve it. So, so you're going back to this. Any other questions, concerns of the Cisco software? Okay, can I get a motion to approve this purchase of the 5-year computer license? Can I get a second?
Second.
Excellent. Any other discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. All right. Perfect. Okay. So yeah. So only things I can say is obviously this was kind of a shortened regular meeting. So obviously December I know is tough, but we do need to talk about 10-15, which and that kind of stuff. So we'll try to things. I know holiday seasons are tough because everybody's traveling, kids are back, all that kind of stuff. But we'll try to figure out a time to have a meeting just on that, hopefully. I think also the discussion, which I think is interesting, that was in our regular packet was from Kathy, which is talking about our ins and outs with the district pays for tuition. I think that's an interesting conversation we should have as well. So those numbers I think are important to look at and show our plus that what we have in comparison at this stage. So, but thanks for taking the time. I really appreciate it. I know Eli has patience and all sorts of stuff that he has to get back to. So he probably has a hygienist looking at him through the door. So
I'm fighting with my dog, so we're good.
you're good. So, but if that's everything, thanks again, and we'll be in touch. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.